There you go, guys. You guys up north like Tom's Wonderful World. I figured I'd show you what a actual road looks like with grass next to it. I know that you guys up there are having a heck of a winter. You got that Arctic blast. Definitely got cool here. It was 31 degrees last night here. I had the pool running all night and covered all the pipes. Hopefully it'll kill some of the weeds and grass, so I don't have to mow as much, but very much a lot of contrast in the videos now when you look at the guys up north in the garage compared to the guys that live down in the south here. I know even Atlanta up there where CJ's at, it got cold. They were in the single digits or close to it in Atlanta, which isn't too far from here, Buck's Wood Shop. And I'm sure Shine and Mr. Blue Roads are freezing their gonads off. So I know it can get cold in the trailer, man. I lived in a trailer for a long time, and they're not much for when the cold weather comes. But yeah, so we got out of the house for a little while because I need to get away from that mess. People that are just wanting to bring shit, not pay, and it's causing havoc. I don't make any money, and I got a bunch of shit sitting around, and it makes it look like I'm busy, but I'm not busy because I'm not getting busy for anybody unless they're gonna, buy the shit. Because I've learned my lesson that you can go broke doing stuff for people for sure, or helping them out, or doing the right thing, or whatever you want to call it. It can cost you a lot of cash. But anyway, here we go. So we just left our house. Here's FTI up here. We still need to do a converter field trip. I need to do that. Now, there's a couple guys in the garage that have converter issues with their street cars, and I offered to help Steve Astro ZZ3. I wanted to take his converter up there and get him to hook him up. He's one of the best converter builders in the country, Greg Samuel. He's a very sharp guy, and seems like whoever buys one of his converters goes a little bit faster. That's how they started that business. They were like, converter business is a hard sell. $900 for a good converter, $1,000, whatever it costs. And you got to convince the guy to pull his motor and transmission out of the car and change all that, see if it's going to go a little faster. So what do we got here? This guy hit a dog, hit a raccoon, big old raccoon. Ran a raccoon over. I don't know how people hit shit, What, do you not look in front of you? I mean, I drive way ahead. I learned that when I was young. This is getting to be a random video. But anyway, I mean, I can see that stoplight up there, and it's, a couple football fields ahead, and I'm watching for stuff going across the road. And I barely really run into shit, but I see people run dogs over all the time, and cats and raccoons and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like they're not looking. But I about died the other day in the Volkswagen. That's why I haven't been driving it. And I was cruising along at 80 miles an hour. And Florida has a lot of little roadside obstructions that can hurt you when you go off the road. And I was on Highway 11 and just got out of town, and I was winding her up there. I was probably going about 80. And I was approaching car coming on the other lane. It's a 2-lane road, and the car was stopped, and I saw the car stop first, and then when I refocused on my lane, I saw a dog right in the middle of the lane, and it was probably 100 yards in front of me. But at 80 miles an hour, you're covering some ground pretty quick. So it was 3 decisions, see how good the brakes were. Actually 4. Hit the dog, go off the road, or hit the car that stopped in the other lane. So I went off the road at 80 miles an hour and tore the floor up pretty good in the car. It was airborne for a while. And when it set down and hit the grass in the ditch there, it was driving sort of like the race car at 150 miles an hour. But we ended up making it through that okay. And car's not too bad. Just need to straighten the floor up. So let me get a chicken biscuit. No, let me get a chicken biscuit and a medium Coke, please.
Chicken biscuit and a medium Coke. You want to go ahead and make it a combo?
No, thank you.
Okay, that'll be all for you.
That'll do it.
$4.98. Please go around.
Thank you. You can eat those potatoes, man. They stick to you like glue. You're gaining 20 pounds. Those are my favorite Hardee's. I don't do McDonald's anymore. All the YouTubers got me away from that place. My dogs aren't happy, but I seem to be a little healthier not eating that McDonald's.
Morning.
Morning, how are you today?
Cold. There you go.
Need a heater there by the window.
Huh?
Need a heater there.
I know. At least it's not too windy.
It's not too cold. It's gonna be 80 degrees today.
I know.
Isn't it great?
This weather is insane.
So you'd be shoveling snow for a week where you came from.
Yeah, you're right.
That's no fun.
Huh?
That's no fun. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, she's a real nice girl. She just had to go back to Indiana. She lives up there by Tom, or lived up by Tom. Yeah, let me see there how shaky cam that'll be. But anyway, she's had a relative pass away and had to drive back up there. She was enjoying the Florida weather when she came back, to say the least. It was snowing quite a bit when she went up there. But it's been cold here. It's a different kind of cold. It's a damp, wet, nasty cold here. And I'm sure you guys get a wet cold up there. Tom looked plenty wet in his video. But the humidity's always in the, above 50% range here, closer to 60, 70. And it can make it hard to breathe sometimes. Anyway, hold Oldsmobile there. Let's see if I can get that. 4-door. Looks like Matt's. The Gizmo's Oldsmobile sort of like that, but has a diesel in it. Chev Holly, check him out. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on in the big city. Not a whole lot. It's still pretty laid back. It seems like we're in holiday mode here. Nobody spends any money in March or Florida until March. That's when the business will pick back up, if it does. And sometimes it picks up, and sometimes it's just lame for the whole year. The auto body business is really bad right now. The supply part of it, there's a lot of politics in that. You got to let people charge stuff for 30, 60 days. Dealerships are 60, 90 days before you get paid. So you have to have stuff worked out with your warehouse where you can go 90 days without paying your bill. And that's what we used to do. Used to be no problem. Used to have excellent credit. And this is why I'm so reluctant to get any more surgery done. As much as I'm not a functioning part of the business, people realize that, I'm Andrea's husband. And I don't know. Maybe they just, out of respect, they paid their bills. I don't know. Obviously, they have no respect, because I'll tell you the story. We had 3 shops that had in the area $4,000 to $3,000, let's just say, a piece. And the month I had my surgery, they just they didn't pay. They skipped their payment. I had 3 shops that all skipped it at the same time, and it was about $11,000 that I had to come up with to pay Matrix. And ended up having to get a loan from the bank to pay that off. And I paid that off, and I don't know how I can explain this. I wanted to pay it all off, and that's what I signed up for. Pay it all off, get the loan, pay it off, have it done. and I thought that the 90-day thing would still be in place, but no, I don't get 90 days, I don't get 30 days. I've got to pay cash now. So when I get down there, I've got to pay cash for my materials. So I can't stock as much stuff as I used to. I used to keep about $24,000 worth of shit on the shelves, which made no sense, you know, other than I didn't have to drive to Orlando to get it every time I made an order. But yeah, I had those 3 shops that sort of screwed me. And then I did an EPA class right before my surgery. I did a EPA certification class, certified a bunch of painters. All my basically Matrix sent me a note and said that any of my accounts that I was selling paint to had to take the class, had to be certified for the EPA course that they have here. It's basically, you know, explains how an HVLP gun works, and, you know, the tonnage laws, what type of filters are required, you know, the manifest on the booth as far as changing the filters and disposing of the hazardous chemicals and all that stuff that goes along with having a shop, which most of my customers work out of little garages and don't even meet the criteria to fall under that scrutiny. But I didn't know, I was naive, so I rented the ballroom. We had the big event, and my dealer stole all of my customers. So basically, you know, you didn't steal them. It's a free country, and they made a choice. When I bought the Matrix dealership, it was like $12,000 for the area, and we picked Volusia County because there's nobody selling paint out here. And it was hard, man. I saw Pisser's video about getting started in a business, and you know, we started that business with a little Toyota box truck full of clear and paint and sandpaper and Bondo. We'd go drive that truck around, and we'd sell $25 worth of Bondo or a roll of sandpaper and wonder if it would ever take off. And it took about 3 years to build the business up, and it was pretty successful. The business was doing very good until I had that surgery and had those accounts go bad. And one of the accounts is a major body shop in town, so not only did he not pay his bill, but I lost his account, and then Matrix set him up to buy direct from them so he wouldn't have to pay me back. And they even sold it to him for less than I could sell it to him for. I sold out of the book like I was instructed to, and they went in and cut me I think 10 or 20%, you know, to steal the account. And then I had, you know, the good customers that just didn't make the change. They stayed with us, thank God. And you know, I try to take care of them as good as I can. Now it's a cash deal at the warehouse, of course. So, and it's just it's a concerted effort to kill our business, you know. They'd like to come out here and take it over. They tried, you know, and they have successfully sold to a couple of shops. But this is the good old boy network, and a lot of people don't understand how that works, and a lot of people they buy because they like the person that's selling the product, not necessarily the product. And when you take the person out of the equation, they just assume not buy from you, and they weren't really billing for that, and that costs them a little bit. So it's an enjoyment for me to make them have to drive out here and service the 2 or 3 accounts that are out here. And you can bet I won't be doing any more EPA classes or Matrix get-togethers. I feel like I was sort of underhanded in that deal. But that's business, you know, and that's how it is. A lot of it is because my wife owns the company, and she's a woman in a man's world, dude, and that's just how it is. They think that a dude can do the job better. Recently, something really funny came up. The rep that they hired came in and caused all the havoc. When I first bought my account, Matrix was having a problem. Basically, people were selling it out of their trunks, and the main problem was in Miami. You know, what happens is you can depreciate a product by selling it too cheap, and people, they were just giving it to anybody to sell, moving around. They didn't have dealers per se, and they had guys buying cases, and they'd go out and sell it and make $5 on a gallon of clear, and sell the stuff for nothing, and it about destroyed the product. So they hired a rep from Louisiana. He was a really good guy, and he worked with us quite a bit. Actually, I bought my dealership from a guy named Mike Mall. He was a partner in the warehouse here where we have to buy our matrix from, that stocks the product. We don't buy direct from Matrix. We buy from a warehouse that buys from Matrix, and they sell other products too. But I'd known Mike Mall from working in the body shop business for 20 years, and I'd been spraying Matrix Clear since the early 80s. They had primer and clear, and I got started on that, and worked in some really high volume shops, and Mike was my rep, and we had a really good rapport. And he was the one that talked me into buying the Matrix dealership and starting a business. You know, he encouraged me to do it, and I did do it, and took the step, invested the money. And it's $12,000, like I said, to buy the area, and everything was going really good. And then I think after like the first or second month, I got a call to go into Orlando, and it's right over the river. We live in this side of Seminole County, but apparently this happens a lot in the body business. You know, a guy will buy from one guy and stiff him and call another guy and try to get the same stuff, you know, of course, and stretch his bill out. I was new at the business and didn't quite realize how common this was, you know, but I got a phone call from a guy, and went and made the call on the shop and talked to the guy, and the guy didn't even buy any paint. We just had a conversation with him, but it was in another Matrix dealer's area, Professional Painters Products or Supply at the time, and those people were actually friends of mine that I had bought from when I was working at different shops. But nevertheless, it caused a legal issue, and had to have a meeting with Jason. That's our district supervisor at Matrix. He's a sales rep basically for Matrix, and he comes into town and he's in charge of the Southeast. Well, he had a meeting with me and threatened to pull the Matrix dealership that I'd bought. He said it was acquired improperly, that it wasn't a legal purchase, and Mike Mall didn't have the ability to sell the Matrix dealership, blah 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 blah. And I already invested in a paint store and a warehouse and the box truck and signage and cards and all that stuff. So I agreed to give the business back, and contacted a lawyer, and once they found out they would be liable for all those business cards, the truck that I bought, the storefront and all that stuff, they'd have to pay for all that to basically buy me out of what they sold me into. An area was established. I had a meeting at a Chili's restaurant. Me and Andrea had to go sit down with the guy for, I don't know, a couple hours. Had lunch. I didn't eat much because I wasn't very hungry, as you can imagine. And he got his laptop out there and plotted me a useless dead land out here in Volusia County. Daytona has a big problem with body shops going out of business monthly. You know, you'll go in there 1 month and one guy will be in there. You go back the next month, another guy will be in there. But anyway, they gave me Volusia County, and I sort of just wanted to work the area that I lived in, you know, surrounding cities, and I built a pretty good business doing that. And that's when they established my area. And when they did that, you know, it was over me going over the river to sell to a customer of another Matrix supplier. So since then, after they did the slippery thing with the EPA classing, all my customers signed in on the list, put their address or shop name, and they contacted them shortly after the little certificates were handed out, and told them that, you know, they could give them a better deal through another dealer, and they should buy from Seth, who is Mike Mall's son. He also sells products. Now, Seth probably didn't have to pay the $12,000 to buy into the warehouse because his daddy's part owner of it, so he just basically goes down there, loads his car up, and sells the stuff, you know, out of his car. He's got a little shop out there in Claremont, I guess, a store, but he's the one that's coming over in my area now. And of course, there's been no legal action taken, you know, to tell him what area to stay in. They just come out here and sell whatever they want now. So Andrea's sort of given up on it. You know, she has no fight left in her. It's more of a fight with me. It hurts me more than it does her, because those guys are my friends, supposedly, and they talked me into getting into the business. Now, I love Matrix. I love their product. I think they have an excellent product, but I think that sort of got underhanded, you know what I mean? And it's definitely, you know, affected my business for sure. So, no, when I was on the Mumble the other night, I heard the website's down, so I need to get the website fixed. So the website's gives me a little bit of business, a little bit of traffic, gives people the ability to buy the product from me. And the funny thing about all this is that I had a chance to talk to the owner of Matrix at NACE 2 years ago. I didn't go last year. I'm sort of disgusted with the whole thing. But I talked with him for about an hour. I got to talk to the guy, and I talked to the marketing manager with Matrix. And they thought the YouTube thing was just phenomenal. They couldn't believe it. That's how I got the rights to use Matrix products on my videos. You have to get all the copyright things in place. And again, I've never had a problem with Matrix. They've always bent over backwards to help me and help my customers out there, especially my out-of-town customers. They sent a bunch of tech books out to guys that wanted them. And basically, I stopped focusing on the Volusia County area and you know, sort of went after the YouTube guys, the internet. Thought I could do some videos and show the product and get it into some people's hands, and it seemed to work. And it worked so well that Matrix started making their own videos. They don't get a lot of views though for some reason, because they're not connecting with their audience. And I tried to explain that to them. They like to see stuff sprayed in the environment that they're going to spray it in. You know, you can't sell a guy a product and tell him that it's going to work in his garage when you're showing him how to use it in a hospital environment, in a downdraft booth with a bake cycle and all that stuff, because it's completely different when you do it in your garage. You're going to run into different problems. You're not going to have the proper compressor. You're not going to have the proper CFM to deliver the product onto the panel, and that's all stuff that you don't run into in shops, because they have all that. You know, they have the proper air compressors and all that good stuff, and you don't have any Harbor Freight guns floating around, and you know, it's just a totally different environment when you go into a shop. But so they've tried to now, you know, make some videos and sell some product online and stuff like that. And you know, I understand it's survival of the fittest, and it's a hard market. You know, basically compete with PPG, Diamond, and DuPont. You know, it's a product that the insurance company recognizes and warranty. If you have a warranty job done by an insurance company, Allstate, State Farm, and it's done at a pro shop, it's a lifetime repair. It's a lifetime warranty. So, you know, the product has to be worthy of doing the repair. And Matrix falls in the category. It's very competitively priced. It's cheaper than the DBC, but works very similar. They have a water line. They have a low VOC 50 state legal line. And I've been using the 50 state legal clear. I've been trying to use some of the same products that they're using on the website now. But yeah, they're looking for a rep. They're hiring a new rep for this area. And you know, Andrew would have been really good for a rep job. She knows a lot of people, and she's been her own rep, basically. You know, rep basically goes in and handles fires and sets up accounts and stuff like that, and sometimes steals accounts, because the guy that came up from Miami, that's when all the trouble started. He's the guy that stole the accounts and kept telling my customers that he couldn't believe they were paying the price out of the book, and you know, because he had the Miami mentality, you know, sell it out of your trunk and degrade the product, and you know, blah blah blah. Well, they moved him on to somewhere else now, and one of the requirements for the sales position because you have to speak Spanish. I don't know if that's discrimination, but I damn sure could tell you that if a Spanish guy came into a place of business and you told him that you couldn't hire him if he only spoke English, there might be a little bit of a conflict there. But that was their thing. They want somebody bilingual so they can saturate both markets. So that's why that wasn't a consideration, I guess. However, I know that Jason, I consider him the best rep that Matrix has. He's not bilingual. He speaks English. And I was able to do business with them for quite a while. And like I said, he's got quite a bit of knowledge. And the guy that took his place, Anthony, he's just a total piece of shit, And anybody that come behind somebody and steal their accounts that they worked 3 years to accumulate, I just don't have much respect for. And I have no problem telling the guys at Matrix that, or at the warehouse. I got no love for the guy. And there's very few people that I despise in this world. And that's one of the things that we try to do, forgive and forget. Sometimes you just can't forget shit. And he's one of the reasons, I will not go to any Matrix events anymore. And I've got invited to go to some stuff that they put on. They put on a big show in Daytona. And I went over there and I got stuck listening to his bullshit. And I got stuck on a tram ride back to the parking lot with the guy, and it was all I could do not to bloody him up. But yeah, I don't like that kind. I'm not a dishonest person. I try to be honest and I try to be fair with people, and I feel like they weren't really fair, So anyway, hopefully this vlog wasn't too boring for you. A driving vlog. I'm supposed to just go get a biscuit and get back to work, but I'll get the tripod set up. We'll pull that intake manifold off that V6. That's my goal for the day. I want to get that done. And if I can get that finished, I'll be happy. I don't even know if I'm in the frame on this. This camera's just sitting over here. But yeah, so hopefully it'll warm up today. Be able to function. Was going to the warehouse. We got some customers in Orlando. That's the other thing, I figured I could go into the Orlando market, but being that I'm on the pay-as-you-go plan, it sort of, eliminates that. But if I ever did win the lottery, they'd be in trouble, because I'd buy so much stuff and flood it at cost to the market that their head would spin. And I would just use their tricks on them that they used on me, because there used to be loyalty. When my father used to get his car repaired, we used to have a repair shop we'd go to. I ended up getting a job there. It was the neighborhood Texaco, and he wouldn't take his car anywhere else. He took his car to there. Eventually, there was an issue over the bill, and he lost the trust that he had with that guy, and he ended up going to a Phillips 66 station when gas stations used to do repairs downtown, and he took his business there till he stopped driving American cars. My parents started buying Mercedes, and they had those dealers or serviced the dealers, but they were very loyal to people that would do stuff for them, and that's just how it used to be. People would find somebody that did a job for them, and if they liked what they did, they'd use that person again. And it's not so much like that anymore. It's all overpriced now. It's what it costs. They really don't care about the quality of the job, or they don't think about that part. It's just like Sean, he's out there doing the plow videos. I was watching that video, Velvet Hammer, and I counted 7 or 8 plow trucks that drove by as he was going to a driveway to plow, and he was saying that it's a cutthroat type deal, and pretty soon guys won't be able to afford safe plow trucks. You know what I mean? You start getting guys that are plowing driveway for $25, and they're not going to be concerned with going off the edge of the driveway and tearing up your grass and hitting markers and shit like that. And all the guys like Sean will be out of business because you didn't want to pay guys like that were meticulous and careful. You want to pay $25 and get it done as cheap as possible. And I think that you lose some service when you know, the 10% that these body shops are saving, they're not getting the same service that Andrea was given. You know, you can call her at 9 o'clock at night and she would go down and tint a color or help them out, and I'm sure they're not getting that kind of service now. So I'm sure they feel it every once in a while, and that's good. That's good that you feel it every once in a while, because it makes you realize that, you know, it's worth paying for a good service. If you're getting good service, stick with that person, even if the price changes. You know, it's always easy to go in and undercut somebody, and usually the quality's not there. You know, there's usually a reason you can undercut somebody. So, you know, maybe that guy that's scraping driveways for $25 isn't putting down, what is it, 5 pounds of salt per acre or 100 pounds per acre. That's just you know, it's in anything we do. You know, there's always room to cut somebody's throat. So either you build a rapport with your customers, and you know, that's how you avoid getting your throat cut, or you know, you just have to pick the right people to do stuff for. Some people are loyal, and some people are loyal to the dollar. So it's been a hard lesson for me to learn. And normally when somebody's going to take advantage of you, it's when you're down. So remember that. You don't ever want to show weakness. And that's why I just refuse to get any more surgery. I need 2 more surgeries, and I'm just so reluctant to do anything, because I just want to hold on to what I got. And I feel like if anything else happened, there's just no margin left, you know. So yeah, even the cats are digging for these moles over here. Digging in the yard for the moles. But anyway, you guys have a great day. It's good seeing a couple of you guys that were missing there for a while. Saw a video from Mill Rich. Did a bumper cover. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Saw Pisser the other day, did a video about how expensive it is to start a body shop business and the expenses that go along with it. And here's what the mobile thing looks like. You know, if you're doing that. I'm getting ready to run out of battery here, guys, but even the mobile shit will cost you. It's $500,000 or $1 million worth of liability insurance just to pull onto a car lot in Florida. So you know, you got to have the insurance, and then you got to have a business license, and then, you know, depending on where you're at, there's regulations on what you can spray and how much you can spray. I can spray up to a pint a day in the air outside legally, and normally don't ever spray outside, usually inside. So the one lot I go to, they have like a spray room that's grandfathered in. So, you know, it's a tough business. I don't think I would recommend anybody to get into it, you know. And I know that there's going to be thumbs down on this video, but that's just 30 years experience talking. That's all. I'm 50 years old now. I've been doing this for a while, since I was 16. I took auto body, and I've been doing it ever since, either repairing mechanically or fixing cars. And this market's definitely changing, you know, even at the dealership level. There's a lot of room for aggravation in this profession. So anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll go try to upload this, see what it looks like, and talk to you later.